Okay. Yeah, there we go. I got the right. Let's check. Sorry. Testing. Okay. Oh, I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the desktop audio. Of course, it's not going to be a desktop audio because, yeah, that would be very silly if I had desktop audio on. That would probably get me copyright straight. Right. Okay. So, fair enough. I'm just going to do the usual preamble I could do beforehand. So, for anybody who is new to the channel or these Friday night watch-alongs, there is no audio or video going to be shown from what we're going to be watching tonight. It's basically one of the few ways we can get around the the whole copyright thing. Basically, you put on your copy, I put on my one. We have the synchronized timer, which again I can never get the angle just right because the camera keeps moving right there. So boom, it will start, it will pause, it will reset, and all that gubbins. Basically, that way you can follow along either live as we're chatting, or I know a couple of people have done it when they've just had it on, that they've watched it later because what was it? Someone told me it's like they were watching it and then they tried to chat realising it was a VOD and then felt really silly. So I was like, okay, it happens. I've done that myself. But yeah, it's there's not really much to say about it. It's quite a simple system. I was a great fan of the proper watch-alongs that they did before, and I got myself and quite a few people got very annoyed when they got rid of it. Even a few people were saying that why not just like put like an extra £1 on the whole subscription and things like that, to allow people access to it. And it's like, yeah, honestly, I would have been happy with that. I mean, I would have been majorly happy, but it would be like, well, it's helping to pay for the access to that stuff. But anyway, what's done is done. No point in getting all stressed out about it. Okay, so a couple of channel things, and then we'll start talking about tonight's film. I have been installing some mods for Fallout 4. Not that many, because I've realised that there's quite a few mods that may interfere with crowd control or not mesh properly. Not because crowd control is bad or anything else like that, it's just by the way that they work. So I've been slowly adding like one or two at a time, quickly testing it, bits and pieces like that. Seems to be going quite well. Does involve me doing an extra step when I start things up, but it's not a major issue. The other thing is, as well, as I mentioned yesterday, there is at some point I've been keeping an eye on places with regards to it. The No Man's Sky just dropped a major update, which people have been after since basically day one, which is pretty much a game changer for the game, and that allows you to build your own Corvette-sized custom ships in pretty much within reason any design you want. I have seen so many really good interpretations. Like some of them have been like joke trolly ones, but some of them are just like, within the limits of the game engine, obviously, really freaking good. Like somebody did one for the the ship in the Guardians of the Galaxy. Is it the Milano? And I am not kidding. It's like almost identical. I mean, it's not exactly identical, but it's like. Yeah, Red Dwarf. Yep, I have an idea of when I'll probably will stream it. I have an idea of what ship I'm going to be building. I have several choices, and I think I'm going to be going for. This is going to be a bit of an obscure one, so I don't expect everybody to get it straight away. There was an anime type cartoon I absolutely loved as a kid called Ulysses 31, and the main ship within that with the dirty great big eye like thing in the middle, the Odyssey I think it was called, because it was based on the Greek myth of the same name. It's basically it looks like a giant eye, like with the thing in the middle, the billy bits around the outside, the jet engines and all the other gubbins and stuff like that. Not sure how I'll be able to do it, but it looks like it. Yes, the Odyssey. That's what my plan is. Whether or not I actually get to do it is another thing, but that's my goal. That's the ship design I want, because then you'd have like basically a pod at the bottom, gangways to pod on one side, pod on the other side, up to the top, and then like the control thing, whatever you want to call it, in the middle. It's probably not going to be that exact accurate, because again, the nature of the game engine, but that is going to be my goal, is to make my interpretation with the limitations of the game engine, the Odyssey, recreating one of my favourite ships from my childhood, because why not? Okay, so that's all the nonsense out the way. Oh, one more thing before I forget. The reason why I'm waiting until next week to play it, and anybody who's been following me for the last few days will know why, but essentially they are going to be dropping the X-Bomber. Oh yeah, do it. They are going to be dropping a expedition, which is like a guided quest line, and you get extra like rewards and bits and pieces and things that are only exclusive to that expedition till they do a rerun. And I am waiting to see if and when that drops. It's supposed to be dropping very soon, but I think that they're just making little tweaks here and there for it. No 100% confirmed news, except for the fact it is on its way. So if it drops, on Monday, fantastic. Then that week I will be doing it. If it drops the week after, I'll be doing it then. Basically, whenever it drops, I'll be doing it on stream as much as possible, simply because it looks really freaking good. Right, okay. So, enough nonsense. We're now going to be focusing on tonight's film, which is Total Recall. One second, I'm having my cranberry juice as is tradition. It's good stuff. Alright. Okay, now, earlier on, when I was looking through this, I didn't realise, or more I forgot, if I'm brutally honest, that there actually is, or was a remake of Total Recall. I think it was either in 2012, I think, or 2022. One of those two. I can't. Not that important. Now, apparently, it's not a bad film, but it's one of the sort of, if you treat it as a sci-fi film in its own right, it's actually pretty decent. But the problem is, it's 2012. Okay, yeah, it's possible. Honestly, I just saw the 2 and the 2 at the end, so it probably could be 2012. Start again. Yeah. So this is, like I say, it's not the remake version, which apparently say isn't that bad. I do want to watch that at some point, but I was almost going to pick that for today just to see what this one's like. But then I thought, nah, you know what? Let's just go with the classic Arnold Schwarzenegger, completely cheesy. And I warn you, this is a film that came out in 1990, so it's going to have. How can I put this? It's going to have elements that were common in that time frame. Let's just put it like that. There will be definitely a couple of bits that will be like, but not in a necessarily bad way. Just as like, we don't do that now, sort of thing. Not quite misogynistic, but there's definitely elements in there. But it's done in a kind of sort of tongue-in-cheek, silly kind of way, and it has quite a few people in it who are. You will recognise the names. Okay, we have got, obviously, the man himself, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Rachel Ticotin, Sharon Stone. Yes, that's Sharon Stone. And some dude called Michael Ironside. Now, you may not recognise the name, but I can guarantee when you see Michael Ironside's face, you will recognise him. He's got one of those faces that has been used quite a bit. Now, there is some content advisories that go along with it, and this is one of the things I was just talking about a couple of minutes ago with regards to iffy content. Now, there's flashing images, there's a bit of nudity, violence, alcohol use, smoking, which is, obviously, these days smoking in films is like generally a big no-no, and apparently sexual content. It's not bad. But let's just say there is one particular scene, and I don't normally say this as a sort of content warning, but it's done more for giggles, and considering the time frame of when it happened, I've got to be careful with my words here. Let's just say The Free Hands. And if you've seen this film, you will know what scene I'm talking about. Yes, that scene. It's very, very brief, but it's done. It's absolutely hilarious, whilst also. Okay, now, like I said, I'll start again. This did come out in like 1990, and it is rated on IMDb as 7.5 out of 10, which is, yeah, that scene. That way, it's like it doesn't happen that it's not on that long, but it's just like it's enough to make you go, I did not expect that. So yeah, 7.5, which is decent for a sci-fi film. And I've mentioned this many, many times. I will say it again at some point in the future. That for me, I go true on what the whole 1 to 10 scale is. So for me, a 5 is an average film. So not necessarily great, not necessarily amazing. It was all right. So this is a above average film. Do not take this film seriously. If you've ever seen any sort of films from that area, like The Running Man and that kind of basically Schwarzenegger, there is a definite kind of. I'm trying to think, was this directed by the same person who? Yes, Paul Verhoeven. I thought it was. Yes. So, Paul Verhoeven has a very particular style, and that was popular in this time period. If you've ever seen the OG RoboCop, that's basically basically what it is, that sort of style. There's also as well, and this was actually, if my memory serves me correctly, and for these kind of things it normally is, right? But this was actually based on a short story called We Can Remember It For You Wholesale. Definitely, yeah. It definitely has OCP vibes to it, to the point where, for a few fans, now this was before the whole thing of like shared universes in films was a thing, but there's a lot of people, and I kind of mentally subscribe to this fan theory, that Total Recall and RoboCop are in the same universe, if that makes sense, in that you can kind of see how they would mesh together. I mean, we ignore the actors and just like the whole vibe and the things that go on in old Detroit with OCP, which is like the usual conglomerate company, and the stuff that goes on in here. You could easily imagine RoboCop being in OCP's past, and this being like them in the future, and they've started to expand into space travel in the same way that Blade Runner and Universal Soldier were kind of in the same universe, but also kind of not. Again, it's just that sort of. It's a fan thing. Shared universe is not really a thing, but it is that. You can see how they could connect very, very easily. Very, very easily. Okay, so I'm going to sort of get myself ready. For anybody who is wrong one, press one button. No, stop there. For anybody who's new to the channel, what I tend to do is do a 5-second lead in, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go, and I will start play on my screen and on the sync timer, and it's normally pretty accurate within like a second or two. That way we're all roughly on the same thing, like if you need to go to the bathroom, or somebody's answered, ringing at your doorbell and things like that. Basically that's what the sync time is for. It's so we can all sync up, and basically within a second what point I'm at, so that way I won't say, oh my god, it turns out that Arnold Schwarzenegger is in fact an alien from the planet Zargog, and I don't accidentally spoil things and things like that. Right, okay, so as I said, 5-second lead in, starting 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, like I say, be warned, there will be some flashing images if you are mean, obviously, not going to be effect on the stream, but it's more like if you're watching your own copy, there will probably will be, like I say, some flashing images. And just stuff. Also, really good intro music. Sounds very Conan. I freaking love this intro music. Yeah, so it does remind me of Conan the Barbarian. Paul Verhoeven. And even the title sequence is very, very 90s. Plus, a shiny gold star if you manage to spot the cameo from a character from Voyager. Sorry, one of the actors from Voyager. Not character. Dun, 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 dun. I got inside. So. I can remember just like watching this like first time as a kid and be like, well, say as a kid, as a teenager, more like, wow, I'm at that stage of my life, and just being, I have no idea what this film's about, but I love the intro. That would be why, because it's Jerry Goldsmith. What's it? It's Jerry Goldsmith, Hans Zimmer, John Williams, and I'm going to mispronounce his name, and I very much apologise. Ramjim Dwali. Freaking amazing composers. Like, if you see their names in the credits, that even if you don't like the film, there's going to be some banging music. What's that? Dun, 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 dun. All right. Mars. Oh, all I will say as well, there's one particular scene in this, and it's towards the end. I do have there is a part of me that I have a grumbles with, but I know, it's Olympus Mons. Large, a mountain so tall it makes Everest look like an anthill. Like, seriously, Olympus Mons is well, that's not Olympus Mons, because Olympus Mons is much bigger than that. Yeah, that's not Olympus Mons. That's too small to be Olympus Mons. Although it could be. Yeah, let's just put it like this. It makes the Grand Canyon and Everest look absolutely tiny. Oh, that's very unpleasant. But no, yeah, that wasn't Olympus Mons. That's just a mountain. Yeah, seriously, it's ridiculously big. I mean, imagine a mountain the size of continental USA. Yeah, it's big. Oh, well, they're not. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, she's getting jealous of his dream wife, basically. Yeah. See what I mean? But it's like some of the scenes were just like, we can really get away with that these days. But it's the 90s. You got to take it for the context for when it was. I mean, seriously, Arnold is freaking ripped in that scene. I mean, seriously, like his what's it muscle there is like bigger than my head. And there was a certain demographic that were very pleased with that scene. Demographics, I should say. See, look at the vibe that's going on here. Then go and watch RoboCop, and you can easily see how RoboCop's universe can lead into this. Like, like wherever the company is who runs Mars could easily be like a rebranded OCP. Excuse me. Now that's the reason why I'm laughing is because that actor there who plays Cohagen was in RoboCop as I believe Dick Jones. I believe he played. So some people say it's like his distant grandchild or something. It's literally the same actor, but it adds to the hypothesis of them being set in the same universe. Mm. I always keep forgetting that Schwarzenegger in his younger days was, I think it was it like Mr. Universe or something, or like a bodybuilding like champion, like to the point where the dude literally his biceps were like the size of my head at one point. Pyramid Mine, that's it. Yeah, it's the pyramid of Mars. It's not. It's just a mountain that looks like a pyramid, like the so-called face of Mars. It isn't actually a face. It's just that when when you got like a probe flying over Mars and you look at it from a certain angle, it looks like a face. It's not. It's just an interesting rock sculpture. But of course, yeah. Oh yes, the cheesy adverts. That really does feel like a Verhoeven. Oh, how sweet. Oops, get start rumbles. Hmm. Obviously, we as the audience see her face personality shift like that, but he doesn't. So now, obviously, I have seen this film before quite a few times, so I know the plot, I know everything that happens in it. But I have a general rule that when I'm watching these, even if it's a film I have seen before, I haven't seen it. To try and keep it as genuine as possible. I'll go. Yeah, they got all the adverts on the train. Yeah. I mean, that's actually a good like little tagline for the memory of a lifetime. But yes, if you like this type of film, I can also recommend RoboCop, even though it's a little bit gory, and Running Man, another Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Ooh, that's a valid point. Do not f with your brain. No, it's not like altered carbon where you can upload your consciousness into another body, and he immediately goes there. Yeah, and that you can just see that's such a corporate building straight away. CRT monitors as well. Okay, that is pretty cool. The whole changing your nail colours, like tap 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 tap. Girls, she's just like, mm, you're a bit thirsty there, girl. You need a drink. Like the concept of this, I find fascinating. So obviously they've got system travel and things like that. Probably not FTL, but some kind of big chunky. Yeah, the Grand Canals. Canals. They're not canals by how we define them, but hmm, yeah, yeah. So the thing that we just happen to create them, put on the screen. I mean, again, as I say, the concept and the idea behind it is absolutely fascinating, but I don't think I could ever get it done myself. It's basically a RPG. So you guys, it's just like, yes, good. Let me. I got an upsale. So, the thing is, you do all that, even if the procedure itself is safe, that's gonna have an effect on your personality because of your memories. Like, do you, do you have? Yeah, it's like this could be a brilliant way to like train people to, give them skills they didn't have access to or other things. Yeah, like they don't care. It's like when like they just need to know what, like in his dream. Yeah, because from a objective point of view, it's only going to last like maybe an hour, if that sort of thing. But from your point of view, it'll be 2 weeks. So your that's going to, at the very least, give you permanent memories of something that never happened. There's a lot of potential in this technology, but it's also potential for bad things. Oh, that doesn't sound good. The word embolism never sounds good. Oh, that's like what, 6 doses? They just 7. A lot of doses they just put in him. It's like, and he's out. Excuse me. Oh, oh. Hmm. That is what you call a bit of a pickle. They're panicking. The question is why. Ah, yes. Some of you may recognize Johnny Cab's voice. A gold star if you can figure out who it is without Googling. I'll give you a couple of clues. He was on Voyager and wore a similar covered uniform. It is indeed the most excellent Bob Robert Picardo. Or Ricardo. Basically, the guy who plays the EMH on Voyager. Oh. 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 Yeah. That sounded unpleasant. Yeah. It just Jason Bourne that. Yeah, dude, well, I mean, your prints are all over it, but hey, holograms. One thing that always cracks me up when you're watching older sci-fi films, like Alien and or stuff like that, how you I know why it's happened because of they didn't have the tech then, but when you see something that's supposed to be set in like what we would consider to be the future, and it has technology like using CRT monitors and things like that, it does make me giggle. But I'm not, degrading them or anything. It's just me being like, we don't use that anymore. But at least the Alien universe has a consistency about it. He's got tomato ketchup on his hands. There he is. There's Mr. Ironside. Yeah, if you ever want to have like a character who's someone who's like a sort of badass type, takes no type character. I'm trying to remember, was he in Starship Troopers? She's shooting at him. Why is she shooting at him? Oh, okay. It's like line crossed. He was. I thought he was. Yeah, like very good actor. Like, and I believe he was. No, no, it was no. He wasn't in RoboCop. I mean, see, this is kind of how I imagine a live action spy family would go down. See, I said about having memories tinkered around with. It's some bad juju. So someone's been tinkering around with his brain already. Oh, that's a pisser. Was that what you called it, eh? No, Doug. Think with the primary brain, not the secondary brain. Yes, primary brain thinking. Primary brain. Oh, she's got a concussion. So, he's wandering down there, he's got a gun out. Very sus. Basically, the motion tracker. Like, hyper advanced technology by our standards. Shitty little screen. But again, I know why they've done this because the tech they had available when making the film at the time. I know. Oh, slightly cheesy and over the top scenes. Oh, he's got a shooter. Ow. I mean, that's actually pretty good tech that you literally just walk through it and they can see, you know, if you've got anything you're not supposed to have on you. Yeah, and talk about drawing attention to yourself. But anybody who's been on the underground knows you all stand on one side. Eh? Oh, poor dude, being used as a meat shield. I mean, fair play to the actor who was doing that, but still, squish. Ah, yes, just a typical day on the underground. Yeah, but I, I ain't gonna say anything. Now, here's an interesting thing: is that with current technology, it would take around 9 months to a year. Yeah, not, but yeah, don't be doing that, dude. Yeah, it will take, depending upon where Earth, Mars are in relation to each other. I say about 9 months to a year with current technology to get to Mars. He said the thing. He said the name of the thing. So if they're allowing you to like travel to Mars in reasonable time, no, I don't think they're gonna have FTL, but they've probably got something like what they've got in the Expanse, like some kind of fusion drive systems or something like that. Oh god, I want to watch the Expanse again. That's such a freaking great show. Might have to actually, because it's been over a year since I last watched it, so it would fit. Oh, it's watching things like Alien Earth and stuff like that, like the near future stuff. Things is getting. As an aside, Alien Earth been getting pre-expanse vibes from the last season from All Mankind. I've been hearing very good things about that. Ooh, my. I'm I am very tempted next week to start watching The Expanse again. But there's sci-fi shows have been really good recently from all accounts. Like the Foundation series is supposed to be pretty decent. Alien Earth, For All Mankind. It's like I'm talking like the more serious sci-fi. I don't mean Strange New Worlds because that's more light-hearted. But like I say, the more serious sci-fi stuff has been really good recently. Oh, I bet I felt cathartic for her. It's like, so what's my motivation for this scene? Well, he's trying to steal your bag that you think is yours, and you just have to tell him to FO. I mean, yeah, he's the only fella walking around with a wet towel on his head. I know when they started thinking about like bringing in automated cars and stuff, so many people made Johnny Cab jokes, and this is why. This is such a cheesy film, though, but I do like it because it's slightly cheesy. It's entertaining. See what I mean? It's just ridiculous. This is not a film to take seriously, and I think that's what the 2012 version does. It plays it more. It plays it as like in a more serious way, which isn't bad, but you know, depends what you like. If you like a more serious version, watch the 2012. If you like the more sort of light-hearted, stupid version, ooh, monies. Looks like Monopoly money. Lots of yeah. This is very sort of like the Bourne films, isn't it? Hmm. That looks either like something to implant something, or something to remove something, or some kind of kinky sex toy. No judgment. Portable holo projector. That's some ridiculously advanced technology right there. It's able to project and do a live feed of the thing it's attached to. It's something like the size of a wristwatch. It's ridiculous. And then you've got a video recorder that's the size of a briefcase. What? Like, this is just like, oh no, I've gone cross-eyed. I don't know what year this is actually set in. 2084. Okay, so 60 odd years from now. So, a working colony on Mars, some kind of fusion system, and memory manipulation. Yeah, it's sci-fi. Who cares? Okay, heads up. There is a scene coming up with some of you may find very unpleasant because I do. Just yeah. That's going where you think it's going. And get your mind out the gutter. Yeah, I'm not a fan of this. I just say, because, like I say, Probia, not too keen on. This is one of those. Yeah. This is one of the. I mean, it's done for comedic effect, and it's done like really exaggerated. But okay, there we go. Yeah, so that was up in his sinus. Yeah, like I say, for most films, I can deal with things, but stuff in the head like that. Because they're able to track you because of the thing that was in your noggin. Ah, the ratto's getting a nice little chocolatey treat. They're fighting over the Mars, over the chocolate bar. And that was uncalled for. Although it's a what would you call it? Phobos and Demos over there. It's a good way of showing that a particular person is not very nice by showing them to her. And it's like the opposite of the thing, like when you see Superman rescuing that cat. You go, oh look, he's a nice guy. He rescued a kitty cat. Yeah, Phobos. Damn it! I want to watch The Expanse again. I really do. So, I mean, technically speaking, Mars doesn't have a vacuum. It just has a very, very weak atmosphere. I mean, the main reason why Mars doesn't have a good atmosphere is because its core is fudged. Earth has a Earth basically has way more iron in its core than it should do for a planet this size because of the small planetoid that crashed into it when Earth was a baby. And it's how we got our moon. Quato lives. Oh, oh. Something's going wrong. Oh, she says she's having some kind of episode. So, a bit of gender equality there. I'm respecting people's pronouns. Good for them. Ooh. Early CGI idea, but yeah. 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 So, so yeah, there is a difference of pressure between internal and external, definitely. I'm not arguing with that. But Mars does have an atmosphere. It is just so weak compared to Earth's. And how do we know Mars has an atmosphere? Because it has weather. I mean, granted, if you ended up outside, you'd be a dead man. The plastic fingers shaking. Now, I can vaguely remember somebody saying, wouldn't they have automatic systems to turn that off? The company that runs this place probably didn't want to install them. Think Mars version of Wayland Yutani. See? The price of air. Yes, I definitely incorrectly called that Olympus Mons earlier. It's way too small to be Olympus Mons. Seriously, look up how big it is. It literally pops out of the top of Mars's atmosphere. It is that freaking big. Quite impressive. It's got fish. Lots of practical effects. Oh, definitely. Yeah. This is like the beginning of when they start to do CGI and green screens and stuff. I mean, you can see it. So again, I can forgive it because it's the time when it was made. But for its time, it was actually pretty good. Also, but this was we're watching these on like high resolution screens and things like that, so we would notice the imperfections a lot more than if you were watching this like on an old CRT television or in this, the old cinemas and stuff like that. You wouldn't notice it back then. We do now because we have higher resolution. Like you watch films we make now in like 20 years time, people will look back at it and go like, "Ooh, that looks a bit ropey, doesn't it?" Because they're like watching it on like 32K screens or something like that. Hmm. Excuse me. Also, lower budgets compared to modern films. He really does remind me of Dick Jones from RoboCop. He plays that sort of character so well. Excuse me. Ah, see, Uber hasn't changed. I mean, that'd be one hell of a place to have a restaurant, though, right by the Pyramid of Mars. And then I've got hiccups. Great. Just trying to sort out my hiccups. I find if I sort of try and force my breathing to be regular, it sometimes helps. All the time. Hmm. Oh. Oh. Okay, that's a good idea. Write something to see if it was you who wrote it. Excuse me. Oh. Oh. That's gonna leave a bruise. Yeah, I mean the air does seem like a important one. Excuse me. Fucking hate hiccups. Yeah. Mm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Basically mutations. Yeah. Just giving like a good couple of months of income right there. Excuse me. Yes, so yeah, this is a sort of adult entertainment establishment, shall we say? Oh, here we go. Oh. Free hands. Now, If you were paying attention at the beginning of the film, when he was going to recall, ah, it's such a cheesy film. Again, I love it. Lady knows what she likes. Excuse me. I think he knows who you are. Yeah, because his memory's been scrambled, basically. Hiccups. Hmm. God damn it! I really hate it. Hang on a second. Oh. Trying to sort of regulate my breathing a little bit. Otherwise, you know when you start hiccuping, it actually starts to get painful. Yeah. See, free hands. Mm, yeah, that's actually quite painful. Yeah, so a private company declaring martial law. Mm. Or it's basically it's like the whole concept of like a company town, but cranked up to a planet. Hmm. Excuse me. Yeah, this is where the film starts like making you think. Wait, what? Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, it's like gaslighting, basically. Sorry, I need to burp. I do apologise. Excuse me. I'm gonna turn the mic off for a sec. Oh, that feels better. Ooh, that was a bit of indigestion there. I'm trying to think where I've seen him before. Not Arnold, not Sharon, the psychiatrist dude. Him. Trying to think where I've seen him before. What's his name? It, he's been in a few things, but I can't try and remember what his name is. I'm just gonna do a quick IMDb. Yeah, it's the red pill. Roy Brocksmith. That's his name. Oh wow, he's been in quite. He was in Babylon 5. I was in Deep Space Nine as well. Okay. Harsh. He's getting some water or something to drink with it. Hmm. Dude's sweating buckets. Uh, God, those walls were made of like MDF or something. I mean, she got stilettos on. No, no, she's got normal shoes on. Oh, God, if she has stilettos on, would she kicked him like that? Whew. I'll say, Sharon Stone looks good in the suit. Most people do, really, regardless of gender. Okay, that's actually some pretty good choreography. Can't deny that. I think I am, because I've heard these sounds so many times. I can hear certain foley work, and they're like, I've heard that sound before. Again, this is not me disparaging the film. This is just me. Huh, I've heard that. Recognizing something I've heard or seen before. Damn. Hey. There's the one-liner. That's how you know it's a good Arnie film when there's some cheesy one-liners in it. So what is that, like his real life? Like in the universe, is that like his wife or something? Yeah. See, and if I'd have done that, I probably would have dislocated both shoulders, but, or more than likely missed. Splat. Yeah. Now, one thing I did like they did on, I think it was Babylon 5, to address the whole why do you have guns on a space station when it can easily puncture the hull? See, is they had like basically plasma pistols, I think they were. So they would be effective against organic stuff like humans and most aliens, but if they hit anything like non-organic like metal or glass, would just dissipate. And it was a great way of explaining how they could have weapons and not have to worry about decompression. However, they don't have this in this world. Oh, and he's like, oh, the money you got from the murder, you better buy yourself a new cab. Ooh, some kind of like tunnel borer. No brakes. I feel like it was like shot they just crashed into. It's like, oh great, fantastic. Yeah, there's a riot and my business has been destroyed. Fantastic, marvelous. Like the way like, as soon as he saw that she was in trouble, immediately was like, boom, he's there. That's the sort of guy you want on your team. Doesn't question, just does. Yeah, that's a. Oof. Now, if I remember correctly, the whole thing is not every mutant is a psyker, but all psykers are mutants. She should have aimed cut a few inches lower. I don't know why. I just was like, I approve of that scene. It's like stand on the bar, just going, "Fucking have some of this." It's like you get the vibe she's not done. It's not the first time she's done something like that. Like, now, if you was living there, that would be quite worrying. Like, why are they leaving? That's why they're leaving. And this is one of the why corporations really should not be in charge of utilities. Pretty apt metaphor, really. And that's some pretty. I got to say, that is some pretty for the time. That's some pretty good makeup that they've got. You know, on both the lady there and the kid. No, any imperfections can be excused as well. Yeah, they're mutants. Smooth. I mean, right in front of the dead bodies. Come on. Gnarly. That was some really good prosthetic make practical effects right there. Like, that legitimately looked like it was organic. Even now. Hmm. I gotta say, I do have a appreciation of older cheesy sci-fi films, and this is definitely in the category of it. Some of the true greats worked on movies like these. Rob Bottin also worked on RoboCop. Yeah, there is a definite sort of now. If you look at them objectively by modern standards, yeah, they're cheesy and they're silly, but they're entertaining. And they weren't trying to send. Sometimes they were trying to send a message. Sometimes they weren't. Other times it was just be like, oh, I forgot about him. Yep. I mean, that for the time is amazing. Like, very sort of Chucky. Like some Cronenberg going on. Quattro. What do you call it? Is it conjoined twin? Is that the name of it? It's basically like two people fused together, sort of thing. Like, because the egg didn't separate properly. Take my strong hand. No, no. So yeah, Quatto's a psychic. Again, I'm definitely getting Chucky vibes from it. But it's probably the same technology that they used. See, this is what they're keeping hidden under the pyramid mine. God damn Adeptus Mechanicus. You dig too deep, the void dragon's down there. Yeah, that's not human tech. Half a million years old. Yeah. And I can still remember watching this in the cinema, and as soon as they panned out, I'm like, I know what that is. Like, because, like I say, I have a interest in astronomy and spacey stuff. So when they sort of showed that, I was like, oh, I know what it is. And it's quite ingenious. I mean, yeah, it's a sci-fi film, so it's not practical, but I just run along like blah, blah, blah. I shouldn't laugh. Yeah, I mean, they kept showing these things earlier in the film, so Chekhov's tunnel ball. Get to the chopper. So I'm just checking to see what other films there are. Oh, Benny's a naughty boy. Benny's been a naughty boy. He plays those type of characters, like evil henchman types, very well. I bet he's one of those people as well that if you actually met him IRL would actually be really good sort of person to talk to. That all seems to be the way, doesn't it? The ones who play like the regular real villains, if you ever villains, like if you meet them IRL, all tend to be like really nice, chilled people. Excuse me. Mega gaslighting. Ronnie Cox, that's the name. I was trying to think who he was. Now you can kind of see the issue with memory manipulations and implanting. It's it has potential for some really good, therapeutic training purposes. You know, people who have had trauma dealing with all that stuff. Brilliant. But it also has the potential for literal brainwashing. Yeah, they're prepared. Now, having your brain scrambled whilst you're awake, that's going to be fun. Excuse me. Oh, you can also see another reason why this technology is nah. Hmm. To be fair, he is an evil dickhead, so oh, that's gonna yeah. Excuse me. That is like I say, that is like a technology that is got the potential for so much good, but the people who controlled it would only use it for shit like this. And this is why they sedate people. What do you call it? What's that stuff do when they put like was it electroshock therapy? Nasty stuff. I mean, it's basically rewiring your neurons. Ooh, that's a lot of claret. And he's dead. The sounds. Ooh, what happened to the sinuses? Yes, very good idea. I mean, I'd break the machines, smack them about a couple of bits as well, but that works. That's actually a really nice little model of Mars that they got then. Where they've what is it, rotoscoped or green screened or project weird projection, whatever they call it. Excuse me, sorry, indigestion again. I apologise. Yeah, getting those fish from Earth probably cost a lot of money, and you just killed them, you dingleberry. Yeah, and they can't even like dig their way out because it will use up more oxygen. Well, technically they wouldn't be aliens if you want to be really pedantic about it, because in this scenario, humans are the aliens. But again, yes, Benny. That's a good job that was there. That's gonna sting. Oh, oh, yep. There goes the hydraulic manifold. Ow. So just rock just drops on the head. I, you see what he said there when he said "screw you." He was. Oh dear. Yeah, you you know it's a good Arnold film or a classic one where he does the cheesy one-liners. Yeah. So basically, that tribinium, which is that stuff there, when it's activated, charged, powered, whatever you want to call it, produces that sweet, sweet oxygen. Yep. So, like I said, uh, one, the main reason why Mars doesn't have an atmosphere at this point is simply because Mars's core doesn't spin properly like the same way Earth's does. It's like if it does, it's like really minorly slow. Earth's core is like a souped up iron core of basically liquid and solid iron, and it's basically what produces our magnetic field, which helps to protect our atmosphere from the solar winds, which is nice. Mars doesn't have that. It did in the past, but doesn't. It doesn't now. So even if they were able to just dump millions, millions, and millions of tons of atmospheric air onto Mars's surface, it wouldn't last that long before the solar winds basically just blast it off. I mean, it'll be functional for a little while, but it would not be a permanent solution. Now, that's leading into what I'm about to say is that I'm trying to think of the next word to say it. That was what makes me think is that in this universe, in this scenario, that's why the aliens, the Martians, didn't activate the reactor, because they knew in some way that the core, the atmosphere would not stay there. So they were probably thinking, well, we've got this reactor, but we can't turn it on. That's a pickle. And then, for whatever reason, in the universe, they either died out, left, or whatever. But, like I say, it's just, like I say, it's a sci-fi film, and I know I'm going to be nitpicky with it, but but you know, again, it's just minor quibbles, minor. Now, even I have to remind myself at times that when you're watching a science fiction show, that it's fiction. Seriously, that hologram tech is amazing. Look at that. No safety rails. Health and safety would have a field day. I see. This is why you have safety rails. Ooh. That crunch was, yeah. Something going up that high would have safety rails. I mean, look at it. Somebody falls off of that. They could get a nasty boo boo. But I suspect it's probably because there's like a bar at the top. There's probably something where you go in and like hook onto that sort of thing. Ah, yes, good old C4. So seriously, as an aside, as an explosive, C4 is really freaking good. Like, you can mold it, throw it, drop it. Hell, you can even microwave the stuff, and it doesn't go off until it gets a, what do you call it, like an electrical signal type thing. It's great. It's very, very destructive, but it's also incredibly safe at the same time. It's weird. That and thermite. They're gonna die. If you're gonna die anyway, you might as well. It would be a bit of a problem if it was keyed to Martian DNA as a security feature. Heads up, pun intended. This scene does have some unpleasantness in it. more of a heads up for those who are of a sensitive disposition. Not exactly a pleasant way to go. But no, Mars does have an atmosphere. Also, an Earth atmosphere is ironically not pure oxygen, it's mostly nitrogen. I think it's what is it, like 70% nitrogen, 25%. I think it's about 20% oxygen, decent amount of CO2, and then twiddly amounts for other gases. Isn't most of Mars' atmosphere something like that? Yeah, I can't remember the exact percentages, but yeah, it's more CO2 than oxygen. Yeah, it is 95% CO2, 2%, sorry, almost 3%. Nitrogen, handful of change for argon, and other bits and pieces. Now, granted, it's not a particularly chunky atmosphere, but yeah, it's almost like an inverse of Earth's atmosphere, the way to look at it. I mean, honestly, the thing that's more likely to get them is probably going to be the temperature. So here you go. Yeah, the atmosphere of Mars is much thinner and colder than Earth's, having a max density of 20 grams per cubic meter, which is about 2% of Earth's in terms of pressure and whatnot. And the temperature on Mars is generally, on a good day, a smidgen over 0 Celsius, and on a really cold day, minus 60. So it's going to be the lack of pressure, lack of a breathable atmosphere, and the fact it is chuffing cold compared to Earth. Now, but again, it's sci-fi, so like I say, I'm not. And also, there wouldn't be a blue sky because it's the water vapor that does that. It's not the oxygen. But again, like I say, sci-fi. I know anybody watching this will be thinking, "Oh, you must hate this film." No, I don't, because it doesn't try to be a accurate sci-fi film. It's just a silly sci-fi film with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. You know, Martians, mutants, psychics, weird stuff going on. It's not pretending or trying to be a hard sci-fi film. So I am a lot more forgiving, whilst I point out the flaws in it as well. Yeah, I mean, you would have to have more water vapor to have clouds. Sorry. This is the astronomer. Exactly, suspension of disbelief. That's the term. I was trying to think of what it is. Yeah, there is nothing wrong with critiquing and pointing out of things in the film that or show that are inaccurate, but you can appreciate it for what it is trying to do. And this is just, you know, it's like I say, it's a silly sci-fi film. It is. But that's why I like it. You know, now if they were doing it in a series, yeah, you could expand on the whole terraforming process. Like, say for example, something like this happened in The Expanse. You could have like the end of season 99, being the activation of the reactor, and then season 100 would be like the accelerated yet gradual at the same time transformation of Mars from red Mars to blue-green Mars and stuff like that. You could do it. In the film, you've got 90 minutes. So there's going to be a lot of stuff cut out from it. A lot of stuff. And Marshall Bell, that's his name. I was trying to think who was playing Quato. There we go. That was it, yeah. It's it's honestly, it is a... And I'm going to try and find out the whole thing about Olympus Mons now, because I try and think how... Just because I'm... There we go. Yeah, apparently Olympus Mons is one of the youngest volcanoes on Mars, and it is 21.9 kilometers, or 13.6 miles, also 72,000 feet high, which is about 2.5 times the elevation of Mount Everest. And in terms of area, if you go from it is about 80% the size of France, not America, as I incorrectly said earlier. So imagine that, a big flat mountain, higher than Mount Everest, so big it actually pokes out a little bit out of Mars's atmosphere. You could stand on the top of it, and because of the way the curvature of the planet, you could not see the edge. It is that freaking big. It says it. Look up on Olympus Mons. I freaking love it. Sorry. But this is why I love astronomy, because this stuff is my jam. But anyway, okay. So that is me done for tonight. It's been done for the weekend. Tomorrow, well, this is not going to be... I can't put this. So tomorrow is an interesting day for me. IRL, I should say, because I'm restarting my Star Trek campaign with a couple of friends. Unfortunately, it's not going to be streamed this time because it was very, very difficult to run a in fact it was incredibly stressful as well to run a game and run a stream at the same time. That was something I would have needed someone to actually do the same thing for me. But because of that, it's like one of the reasons why I've been watching lots of Star Trek stuff and alien stuff and sci-fi films is because I've been doing research for things like that. So that's basically what I'm looking forward to tomorrow. I did mention obviously earlier that whenever the No Man's Sky expedition drops, I will be running that. So it may happen if it happens at a weekend, I may not stream it. But if it happens like say Monday, then I will be streaming it, because I really want to like go into that and build. I mean, because I've got the freighter I want. I've got the big pirate freighter. I've got, I need to, now that they've changed the planetary algorithm, I need to find a new planetary base to build something on. Although I'm kind of happy with my base as it is, in its sort of where it is. It's just it's turned from being a paradise world to being a jungle world with sandworms and everything else like that. But otherwise, I'm okay with it. But I've got my freighter, the Corvette, all the vehicles. Yeah, seriously, No Man's Sky it's now granted it isn't one of those games that how can I put it? It's not for everybody, I will admit. But if you just say seeing what's over the next hill, seeing what's in the next on the next continent, on the next planet, on the next system, and just that kind of bimbling around exploring, just to see what's there. Maybe building a base that you build along with you, or just you want to build a thing that looks like a giant. You know what? You can do that. It's basically like a sort of like Minecraft. You decide what your story is going to be. If you want to build a giant, a giant furnace, that's entirely up to you. If you want to build a great big, star base, yeah. I think one more thing they need to add to it, and I think would be absolutely amazing, would be if they can do some kind of customized star base stations. Have a core unit, so people can interact with it, and then have the rest of the stuff bolted onto it, and kind of like what they're doing with the space station, the Corvettes and things like that. But anyway, I'm starting to waffle because it's sure I'm getting tired. So I'm going to say to you all, thank you for joining me. Have a good weekend, and to say, yeah, next week it'll be up in the air for what it will be, but there will be something. I'm just not entirely sure what. So for now, good night and have a good weekend. Bye bye.